Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play The Consuming Shadow. I took a look off screen and examined all my clues, and I am pretty sure that the invader is actually Sho. CHZ0O. I don't know its rune yet. I think it might be EU. I'll look for a rune that shows up again, since I didn't see one in my notes. I'll consult all of this again, of course, right before I hit Stonehenge. But for right now, I think this is what we're going with. For our spells, we are still missing 2 segments of the banishment ritual, so we're not done yet. Even if I wanted to go straight there and believe Sho was the ancient, I still don't know its rune, nor do I know where to put it, though my guess would be the final spot on the banishment ritual. Okay, well, with everything done so far, I think we're heading right to Saxham. We don't need the money at the moment, but it would be nice to have some extra. I think I might be out of medkit by now as well. Waterchester. Yes, we're down to 5%, so we need a friendly town. Let's see if this town is friendly. It's too late for the people of this town. There doesn't seem to be any left. The very air is thick with otherworldly power, and the clouds spiral and churn toward the center of what can only be a big dimensional rift, deliberately opened and kept open. Undoubtedly the work of one of those idiotic cults that think hastening the coming of the shadow will in some way endear them to it. And it's worth noting that this rift is a fraction of the size they will open for the ancient, and it still reduced this place to a ghost town. Sealing the rift will mean getting close to it. I didn't expect finding its exact location to be much of an issue, considering that the very corrupted cloud is pointing directly at it. It was a botanical garden that seems to have become rapidly overgrown, faster than natural growth would allow. From the vantage point, I can already see the rift, a point of light surrounded by trees. Now, I just have to get there on foot. Alright, let's do this. We're looking in pretty good shape at the moment. Plenty of bullets for us. Can risk spending 1 or 2 to help me kill creatures. Ah, hello. This must be one of the seals holding the rift open. It can be dispelled by incanting the rune it depicts. That would be KZ. That takes care of the seal. Only thing left to do is close the rift itself. There is nothing else in this chamber. If we find the rift, though, I'm going to wait to seal it until after I explore every other location here. I've incurred some dusty jewelry I estimate to be worth about £6. I find 2 unfired hollow point bullets that appear to have been hastily concealed here. For some reason, a perfectly functional lockpick has been left here, perhaps to be recovered later. Oh, this is not promising. Lots of dead bodies on the way. Wow, that's fast. That's the rift. We will seal it now, since we're right here. Ornate part of the banishment ritual is to incant the rune of the creature you intend to banish. as the second syllable of the mantra. Note, be very certain that you have the right rune. Nothing left for me here. I can escape now the same way I came in. I want to search these rooms. I found a discarded wallet containing £6. Wow, we didn't take any damage. With the rifts closed, the endless ringing buzz has been replaced with the deathly quiet of a deserted ghost town. Still, ghosts are preferable to what resided here when I first arrived. I hurry back to the car. You received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. Special ammo is more expensive, but worth it. Hollow points do more damage, while armor-piercing shots damage multiple targets. Alright everyone, well, let's move on to the next town. We should probably be able to reach Saxum in time. I am flagged down by an unmissably fat woman beside an upturned wrecked SUV. She screams incoherently until I crouch down and notice that a small child is strapped into the back seat. And judging by the smell, fuel is leaking. The mother is clearly too large to crawl through the vehicle to her son, but I am not. However, the space I need to crawl through is absolutely strewn with broken glass and razor-sharp exposed components. We have skateboarder pads which will protect us. I hit upon the idea of wearing my skateboarder pads. Thusly armed, I am able to quickly crawl through the car with shards crunching harmlessly under my protected knees and elbows. The child is none the worse for the ordeal, although there's not much to be done for the car. My reward is £23, and a rare sight of pure joy in this omnipresent shadow. The message is received by a flustered man dressed not dissimilarly to myself. He's agitated enough that I am forced to awkwardly remind him of agreed payment before he can run off, whereupon he throws a handful of notes at me and disappears into the shadows. The atmosphere is tense here as news has spread of the darkness infecting neighboring towns. Besides that, I cannot sense the shadow's influence. For now. There is a discredited doctor operating a backstreet surgery here. They will heal me without questions as long as I have the cash. We can refill our medkit. And we'll also look for supplies. I have lost another precious hour, but I have finally found a black market dealer willing to take my money. Let's buy a rosary. And I have enough money I can buy one of each bullet, I think. The shadow has a definite foothold in Fortin, and it's growing to make its move soon. You don't have to help out, but these things escalate quickly. Wow, that is really far away. But we could make it to Fortin and back in time. If I go to Almsholm first. 7 hours there. 7 hours back. It would be very close. Let's head to Almsholm, and I'll make up our mind what we're doing after that. We have half the amount of time left? Actually, it was 60 hours to start, so we haven't quite run out of time. No, we're not receiving any texts from family members. Thump! I'm startled into full wakefulness when something heavy and fleshy slams into my front bumper. I stop the car out of reflex. The unmoving mass in the road could be human or animal. Anxiety seizes my heart. We will find out what I hit. My heart fell inch by inch as I approached the unmoving shape in the road and confirmed that it was a human. A large, bearded man in several layers of old clothing, probably been sleeping rough. His eyes are dead and open. The horror is a cold, petrifying thing draped across my brain like a soaking wet blanket, but there are too many lives at stake to dwell. A small amount of currency amounting to 10 has been spilled out the dead man's pockets, and I decided he wouldn't need it anymore. I'm unable to meet my own gaze in the rearview mirror. We killed a man. Ever since I crossed the town limits, I have felt the sensation of being watched by black, unwelcoming eyes. I have heard numerous inhuman noises, almost like a chitinous giggling that stops every time I attempt to trace it to its source. Moments ago, I suddenly turned, and I'm certain I glimpsed something on a nearby rooftop, which ducked behind a chimney stack when it saw I was watching. The suspense is becoming intolerable. After numerous failed attempts, I finally managed to catch one of the creatures and wound it. From there, it was just a matter of following a trail of foul-smelling ichor to the lair of the beasts. To my surprise, it was a rather mundane office building in a business park to the south of town. Outwardly clean and undisturbed, but the stench when the door opened made my eyes stream. Perhaps this species prefers to nest in clean, orderly environments. It hardly matters. They must be eliminated. We'll have to fight 3 rooms, each containing 2 creatures in it. I found a set of keys. These should make exploration easier. The EU rune has been inscribed on the wall here in red, upside down. This means it's intended as a curse to the god associated with the rune. I'm pretty sure it is indeed EU. Oh, while here... The rune upon the wall seemed to respond to the invocation, but we did not recover any sanity. In the language of the ancients, the symbol EU is usually given as a name, but has also variously been written to denote the concepts of love, lust, and sex. Another victim of the shadow. They lie curled up, still clutching at themselves as if there was something eating away from them at the inside. Nothing but an old body armor. Maybe it could prove useful. That is amazing. Has physical damage. I will keep what I'm currently wearing, though. This place is infested with creatures from the shadow. The only option is to find and exterminate however many of them remain. I think the rosary is too useful for us at the moment. For us to give that up. We're not really that wounded. We have a full med pack and plenty of money to replenish it. I'm not going to fight that. That's too difficult. The symbol on the wall seemed to grow more distinct for a moment. I have recovered 2 armor-piercing bullets, which seem to have been held as a keepsake or trophy. I have cleared the Shadow's minions from another area, but I can still faintly hear the skittering movements. My work is not complete. We're gonna walk back into this room. I really don't want to fight a large birther, whatever those things are called. There's a dented old cash box here containing around 3 pounds and change. That's the way we're supposed to go. There's also something in that room. The name Bariala often appears in relation to physical suffering. Early Christians claim it was a word uttered by Christ on the cross, but it also appears in the language of pre-Roman Celtic tribes to identify some kind of pain avatar spirit. Bariala is the god of pain. Yes, we knew that already. I believe I have killed the last of the horrors. There's nothing more I can do to help this place. The syllable Ang has many uses in the language of the ancients, most notably as the last symbol of a notorious dispel, purported to be powerful enough to banish a god. Unless there's any more loot to be found, I can safely call this operation complete. We get 3 pounds and 2 usable bullets for a 9mm. The animosity is rooted in the suffering reportedly endured by worshippers of Bariala while captured by the cult of Sho. Sho worshippers seem to tell the story the other way around. Invader's enemy, not invader. Yes. Alright, we have everything we need. We've also picked up some anxiety, but I don't think it's going to matter. It will hopefully fade before we get out of here. No magic wand has been waved over the town to remove the taint of the shadow, but with the infestation removed, it's certainly quieter. I make my way back to the car, hoping that what remnant of this town's population survives will get back on their feet. Let's go to Fortin, I think. We could, however, simply leave as well. We have all the information we need. We could let that fall to the enemy and just go back to Saxham, Goreberry, and Stonehenge, rather than risk losing any more sanity. Let's double check to make sure we have everything that we need. I'm fairly certain this is all correct. But for you viewers at home, let's do this again, right? If I am correct, then this should be easy enough to reproduce. So we'll take all this off, and we'll go through all of it. This way you guys can shriek at the screen when I get it wrong. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is look at the colors. The color orange is associated with the concept of lust. So we have orange, lust. The color yellow is associated with the concept of disease. Yellow, disease. The color BTI is associated with the color red. Kathoth is identified. Oh, let's not do that yet. Chozo is associated with the color orange. Bariala hates the god associated with the color orange, which I don't have enough information at the moment. The color red is associated with the concept of pain. The god of pain is not the invading god. Bariala is the god of pain. Bareilles appears to be the enemy of show. EU is associated with the concept of lust. Cathoth appears to be the enemy of Bareilles. That's interesting. Bareilles appears to be the enemy of show and Bareilles. And Bareilles is the enemy of both of them. The god of disease is not the invading god. Chozos is with color orange. Cathoth is identified with the Shum rune. And that is everything. So I believe that, yes, Chozo with the EU rune is who we're looking to dispel. The god of lust. We also have the rune BTI EU SHMANG. So let's leave. Let's try to get to Stonehenge. We can let Fortin fall. Let's enter the town and replenish any supplies I think we'll need, in particular bullets. I feel quite buoyed by the clean air here, and the people are friendly enough. It can only be a matter of time before they catch the Shadow's attention. I have lost another precious hour, but I have finally found a black market dealer willing to take my money. We're going to ignore everything. It's time for us to head to Stonehenge. Nothing else matters in reaching Stonehenge. Nope. They really just be trying to reach us, but I don't care. While we're here, we could take our drugs, but I think we're gonna... It's probably best that we do so. Inject illegal drugs to temporarily restore sanity? No, we have 57. We'll make the attempt to win without the drugs this game. I don't think I'm going to need the stab-proof vest. Wounding won't really bother me here, because we won't take any damage from bleeding while exploring this location. Only when we drive, to my knowledge. In the center of Stonehenge, the ground has been torn up, and an eerily lit entrance leads into some kind of tunnel network. I don't know if it's unthinkably ancient or recently built, but either way, the Shadow is not even trying to conceal it. This close to the deadline, it must feel assured of victory. This will either be the place where it will finally be vanquished, or a fitting tomb for myself. I must be sure that I have all the runes and the order they must be cast for the ritual, or at the very least, enough information to confidently guess. Okay, here we go. This place feels very Egyptian under it to me. It's the tiles and the columns. No, I'll take the sanity loss for that. That's a tough creature. There is some kind of survivalist cache here containing 2 hollow point rounds. There will be locked doors here. We will attempt to use all our lockpicks immediately to get us through them. They will lead us to the tunnels we need to take. I found a set of keys. These should make exploration easier. I've recovered 2 armor-piercing bullets, which seem to be held as a keepsake or trophy. In this place. Interesting. Nothing but an old locksmith's kit. Maybe it could prove useful. This would greatly increase our... Oh, lockpick overseas, but unfortunately we do not... Or fortunately, we don't need it. A body lies at my feet. Something must have torn their bowels and lower torso apart in a state of animalistic frenzy. Alright, everyone. It's time to do this. It's the God's Rune. Let's make sure we've got it. It's EU. BTI, EU. Okay, here we go. God. Do this. Push it back. The next thing I remember is lying in the grass near Stonehenge, being woken by the dawn chorus. The tunnel entrance was no longer there, the ground seemed undisturbed, and yet, my hands were caked with mud and earth. No one seems to remember anything that happened. The shadow that hung over the land has vanished like smoke, as have the creatures it brought. The world sleeps now, wounded but fitfully, and no one will ever know how narrowly we've escaped, or who they have to thank. I'm already starting to wonder if any of it was ever truly real. Good work, soldier. Whenever it's convenient, report in at the ministry. I might have a little job for you. That is my first actual victory. Wow, being able to counter the spell casts really matters amazingly, an amazing amount. and being able to recover even a little bit of sanity with the runes occasionally is also very helpful. That went really well. I'm curious if we actually got an A this time around. This is also one of the few times I didn't actually have to use illegal drugs. I think it helped that I didn't really cast any spells, and I never answered the phone more than once for family members. And even then, I think it was an unknown number. Let's see what we got. What's our score this time? We survived. Ending A. That's a lot of points we need. Wow, but we had a ton earned this mission. Successfully banished the Ancient with 26 hours remaining, and managed to escape with body and mind intact. Discovered all 4 runes of the banishment ritual, and failed to prevent 2 towns from falling to the shadow. Tended to favor close combat, exterminating 71 enemy minions with melee attacks. Learned 2 spells, but seemed to distrust magic and avoided making casual use of it. In the end, subject was a physically exhausted, burdened demon hunter. Okay, wonderful. Let's see if we have any creatures further unlocked. Gas bags? Whatever blasted hellscape the creatures of the shadow come from, they may not have entirely left it behind. Various minions have been observed to constantly emit clouds of toxic gas. Wait, this was only 46 completed. That's weird. It's 100. Oh, no. We just don't have a picture being displayed. Oh, interesting. Let's read about this. The creature termed the Floater, while manifesting in our universe, seems to be simultaneously tied to another, where physics operate differently. All conventional tests indicate that it is a ball of gas, and yet it seems to be heavy and unyielding, and capable of giving unwary foes a nasty scrape as it moves past. It is a slow-moving, ponderous creature, if it even is a creature in the conventional sense of the word. But when physically threatened, will divide into 2, with both halves attacking independently with speed and aggression. Gunning them down requires good aim. Beating them off at close range requires good timing. The Sculler seems to be the wingless larval stage of the Buzzer life cycle. It can scuttle at high speed and jump with the power of a flea. They seem to be born with the instinct to hurl themselves at potential enemies of the swarm, but their soft juvenile bodies are extremely brittle, and they will do far more damage to themselves than their victims. And I think that does it for us then. So I guess that wasn't the Birther and Big Birther? Oh, I see what these things are. Okay. I'll have to start killing them more often. Well, that'll do it for us, everybody. Thank you again for watching. When we come back, I guess we'll choose a different type of character to play. I guess we'll try the Warrior next. Wanted by police, no gun, enhanced melee ability, special dodge move. Alright, everyone, well, we'll do that next. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you all for watching, and take care, everyone.